Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how I set up the solar panel on my van and use it with a Jackery. It was honestly quite the journey setting up a third-party solar panel to a Jackery, so strap in because it's been a process. When I began this project, I was thinking I'll get a Jackery because it'll be easy. It'll just give me somewhere to put the energy for now until I get a proper lithium-ion battery and an inverter and stuff, which if any brands want their batteries and inverters on Van on the Moon, then hit me up. I'm looking for somebody to send me some. But for now, a Jackery would be easy. No, it was not easy. It is a huge day today for Van on the Moon. Some of you might know already, but I've had a solar panel on top of my van. Here, I'll show you. That solar panel has been up there for probably a year now, but it hasn't been hooked up to anything because I haven't had a battery or the cords that would take the energy to a battery. But I got a Jackery and I got the cords. Yeah. So today we're finally gonna hook it up. It's actually a little bit of a sentimental story of how I got the solar panel. I was looking on Facebook Marketplace and someone had posted a bunch of solar panels for sale. This was back when I was working at Lahaina Harbor. I got off of work and I drove to the pin that the dude had dropped for come pick it up here. And I'm driving not knowing where it's gonna be at. And I get to a random road and a tent on the side of that random road, and it is full of solar panels. That being said, I think the best move to start with here would be to plug in the solar panel to the Jackery and make sure it works before we go through the trouble of running wires under the van through the engine hatch. They're zip tight in place. Yeah, baby. All right. Got the wires. If you want to get the same cords as me, link will be in description. Alright, I'm gonna go get some scissors. That was a lot easier. So these actually come with only one side made. That way you can kind of customize the length, because I wasn't sure how many feet exactly it would be to route it the way I'm going to. It appears I have goofed. These are what I've got to work with. And this is what the Jackery accepts. There is no configuration that would have this work. I'm this close to just going and buying the Jackery solar panel. It turns out there's a whole plethora of types of plugs for solar panel connections and charging and stuff. I don't know, I just thought solar panels, there's a type of solar panel plug. There's one that's fairly standard though, and it's called MC4 connector, which is the type that is on the extension cords I got. But the ones that are on the solar panel itself were some other type of random plug. I'm not even certain that these are the right connectors for that solar panel. Ah! Yeah, that's great. So I got the wrong size cord, and I'm not certain what voltage this solar panel puts out, so we're gonna test it. Apparently none. Nothing. Wow, we are going straight back to the drawing board for the entire solar idea. Well, this explains it. There's caps. And the one that goes to the Jackery is even yet another different type of connector. So basically, this video right now is the solution to all of these problems that have arisen are to change out the connectors on the solar panel itself. So then we'll be able to attach the extension cord to the solar panel, and then once we get to the other end of the extension cord, we need to be able to put that in the Jackery, so we'll get an adapter for that. Okay, there might be hope. I looked online and there are adapters that go from these type of ports to this type of port, so maybe I won't have to buy the $700 Jackery solar panel. Which, if you're wondering which type of connector the Jackery takes, it's called a DC 8mm, and there will be links for everything in the description box, so don't worry, I got you guys. I tracked it down for hours and I found all the pieces that would work for this project. Okay, beginning with the first step, swapping out the plugs on the solar panel. Hello, it is another glorious day at the Vanagon, and today we are going to try and tackle a very long-awaited project which I tried to do last week and failed miserably. Today is hopefully going to go very different because we will have the correct parts, hopefully, those adapters, because it's the wrong type of connector, and another type of adapter that will let it go to the Jackery. Also, we'll have rainbows here helping, so that's gonna help a lot.
Are you ready?
Yes.
There's no coming back from this, really.
Cut 'em. Yeah, wait. Oh, I'm kidding.
That's narrow gauge wire. You said 14. Gosh, all these little parts that you bought are all over the ground, Molly. What happened?
I don't know.
Oh, an uncaffeinated monster must have come through and disturbed everything.
I think it says under the panel which one is positive or negative.
That'd be good to pay attention to. It's okay, we can figure that out easily. We'll have you stand above it, shining like a sun, and then I'll just take the voltage measurements.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. Okay, great. Let's just start here and see what happens before I...
And here's the bag of all of the little connectors to put on the solar panel itself, and none of it came with the instructions. So Pokey is minus.
It's got a hole in it. Oh, bam. Oh, bam. Oh, so... No, it needs the other cable. This is the positive plug.
And this is the negative cable?
Yeah.
Well,
oops.
Good thing we've got like 30 of them. If any of you are trying this, it's very particular. On the negative is girl part plastic with boy part metal, and on the positive is boy part plastic with girl part metal.
Alright, that's tight.
Yes. I would say that was the trickiest part of the project because you were dealing with like actual wiring stuff. Everything else is basically plug and play. So here's how we connected it to the Jackery.
Okay. This part goes here. Click. This part goes here. Click. Say yes?
Yes. The MC4 connectors on the extension cable connected perfectly to the adapter, but now our task was to figure out if all of this work was worth it and is anything gonna happen?
This is the part where you stand above it and shine like the sun.
It might just be because this is so filthy. And there's no sun on it. This thing is nasty. Should I drive it into the sun? It's pretty clean now.
Is this the right fucking plug you got, Molly?
Should be. Does it not seem right?
No, it doesn't seem right at all.
Ugh.
Now maybe it'll work. Hey, yes! Look at that! Input 0 watts, but it recognizes input.
Oh, oh. Yes! 3 watts. That's nothing, but it's something.
There you go. You need to have the actual Jackery plug to go into it, not random plug.
Okay, well, it works.
Yeah, that works great.
Fuck yeah! Well, the sun is officially gone and we are having 0 watts of input, so we might go find the next best thing and park under a street light for a bit. Little check-in, it's 1:11 a.m. I didn't end up going under a street light. I just set up my camp for the night and I'm gonna plug the solar panel into the Jackery again, so when I wake up we can see if we've gotten any percentages, hopefully. Good morning. Let's see what we got. Okay. The moment of truth. 34 watts of input. And we're not even really like directly under the sun. It is 7 a.m. and we are parked under trees. So, you know, that's a pretty good sign. I unplugged the thing so I could open the door, and then I plugged it back in and now it's not charging even though the sun is like overhead. This project is driving me actually insane. So I'm just unplugging and replugging a bunch of times, which once I shut the door to drive away I'm gonna have to plug and replug again. So we'll see. I don't know if this is even gonna work, but we'll see. I'm gonna head to the DMV because I'm finally changing my address. As far as the government is concerned, I live at the UPS store. Currently waiting at the DMV and 0 charge! 0 charge is happening. That's just really driving me crazy. I read online that you can reset these things by pressing 2 buttons for 13 seconds. The display and USB. For 13 seconds. Oh. Well. Back to square 0. Just got done at the DMV, which it was a hassle as usual, and it's working. 5%. I didn't change anything. I just left it how it was and went into the DMV, got my shit done, it came out and it's charging. Not very quickly, but it's charging, so there's hope. There's hope. Apparently, I've been driving around with the broom on top of my van that I sweep the solar panel with for like 2 days. Somehow it didn't fall off. I'm impressed. Now, speaking of the solar panel, let's check out if it's charged anymore since the DMV check. Okay, at first glance, it is making a lot more noise than I would have expected. It's like the fan is going, the cooling system. Granted, it's hot in my van right now. 26%. 4444, angel numbers. I'll be honest, it was quite the emotional roller coaster after I had carried the solar panel around for like a year and then went through the process of like finding out I didn't have all the right pieces and tracking them down and ordering them and waiting. Like this was so much suspense. So to have any battery power at all show up on the Jackery screen was like heaven. Now that the elephant's out of the room, that like there is power coming to the Jackery, we gotta start asking how much. And I'll tell you what, it's not much. It's totally enough for my phone, my laptop, my speakers. I even use my sewing machine on it. But the main reason I was in a rush to get power happening in the van is because I got a fridge and I wanted to plug it in so it would be cold. That didn't work out. So the fridge is just still warm. I use it for food storage, but not to be cold. So it's been like 24 hours now. Jackery hit 0. We'll see if the fridge is cold. Last night, the Jackery was at like 20%, pretty late at night. Oh, my chocolate is back to being solidified. I'm still using that same setup and it's working out for the things I listed. The fridge is still warm, but there's gonna be a video very soon of me swapping out this whole system and getting the fridge cold. So yeah, that's exciting. And for now, this is working out. This is how it looks. We've got the Jackery right there, and then the wires come up to the solar panel. As you can see, having the wires come through that like passenger side window makes me have to leave the window cracked a little bit, which isn't super ideal. If you've watched the worst week of van life ever video, you know what I'm talking about. Guys, this is actually terrible. There's like sounds happening in my van. I was sleeping and I thought it started raining. Yeah, I heard the waves. I heard the wind. I figured it's just raining. I'm like, oh, hearing the pitter patter. It's not raining. There's a sprinkler pointed directly at my van. Are you f***ing serious? Right into the f***ing open window where the solar's wire is going in. Are you f***ing kidding me? Do you see how this is pointed? That is so lame. Do you hear the noises? Oh my god, all the speakers. Yep, everything in here is soaked. And did I mention it's 3 a.m.? It also just doesn't look super great, especially when I have someone like about to hop in the passenger side and they're like, you know, tugging on the door handle. And I'm like, sorry, you can't come in that way. Come through the sliding door and crawl to the front. Not super ideal. So I did order 4 new solar panels. They're the flexible ones. I'll have 400 watts of power up there, which is basically 4 times what I have right now. And like I said, if any brands want to send me a battery and a charger and an inverter, go ahead. I am open for brand deals right now. I hope any of you found this useful, or maybe you just found it entertaining watching this shit show unfold. Either way, van on the fucking moon.